It's recorded. We are all set. Hey, everybody. I'm Laura St. John here. Welcome into Strong Confident Living. This is a special workshop right now. I'm adding more of you into the live Zoom. Also, I believe it says I'm live on Facebook. You all, I am so excited. So those of you who are in, will get on the inside chat where you'll have a lot of one-on-one with me and my sister, Catherine Dunn, and we'll be able to chat, answer your questions as we go. For those of you on public, like on Facebook, we'll be answering questions publicly later. So just still drop notes. Let us know if you're brand new. Say hello to one another. Thank you for being here. This is about avoiding the top most common manifesting mistakes that most people don't even realize that they're making, and then how to flip them to create a brand new result. New Zealand's in the house. Hi guys, OG's in the house, originals. Some of you have been here for years with us on this journey. Some of you are brand new. Let us definitely know if you're new so our originals can wrap you around with a warm digital hug. You guys, Strong Confident Living is a movement of amazing people from all over this planet looking to live more strong, more confident in our everyday, because the juicy sauce happens in the everyday little moments. And as I go through this manifesting workshop, I want you to really take notes. I want you to get paper. Okay, I said plain or lined, whatever works for you. I love plain paper. It's like a blank canvas to your life. And this is about creating your next chapter and letting go of old stuff that you're no longer wanting to recreate over and over and over again. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant, frustrated, like really wanting to move forward, there can be an amazing like gusto of energy that puts you into massive action right from this workshop. I'm going to give you actionable items. Also, it's going to allow for a lot of reflection. So don't be surprised if this week you are like suddenly have a light bulb moment bigger than ever while you're driving in the car or washing dishes or, taking a shower, and suddenly you have these light bulb moments. Well, because manifesting is a thinking activity. And sometimes when things just turn off a little bit and you're practicing it and you're doing the do and you have a plan like I'm going to give you, you'll be amazed at what starts to come into your reality and what starts to come into your focus. Some of the things that you may want, some of the things that you're clearly no longer wanting. So I'm super pumped. Liz, welcome. Hey guys, as you're tuning in, Vicky, Serena, Met, Cindy, yay. I'm so glad so many of you are all here joining in, and many of you again on replay. So if you're watching this recording later, welcome. Manifesting. I'm just gonna keep dishing as many as possible in 1 hour. I wanna pack a punch. That is Laura St. John style. It is strong and confident. It is being bold and stepping up. I want to give you as much juice as I can. So you are like, I do that. Ding, ding, ding moment. Like ding, 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 I do that. And then boom, I'm gonna change that. I can't wait to make that a practice. So manifesting, pretty much the biggest manifesting mistake that all of us have sometimes done is that we think we're not doing it. We think actually that we need to manifest, okay? It's like a big ding ding moment right now. Let me get my ding ding, sorry, like lost without this thing. It's a ding ding moment right now to say that you aren't, that you're not manifesting. You're manifesting. It's whether you're consciously aware and really driven and focused to manifest what you want, or whether you're literally just in creation mode of all the things that are just keep unfolding around you. You're still part of that co-creation of what's happened. But what you're seeing in front of you right now is actually past tense. Okay, so this is what excites me so much as a mindset coach. All the thoughts you've had till this moment, all the emotions, all the situations, all the experiences you've ever had, when you now look around you, has created your current reality, your current now. So in order to recognize a big mistake, that when people are like, oh, I need that course, or I need this class, I'm like, yeah, well, you don't need it because you're not doing it. You need it because I'm going to help you redirect your focus. Because where are your practiced thoughts going when you brush your teeth? Where are your practiced thoughts going while you're eating food, breakfast, dinner, whatever? Where are your practiced thoughts while you're sitting and having a cup of coffee? What are your practiced thoughts when you're sitting on the couch putting your feet up? Or when you're looking in the mirror at your body, like my last workshop, body image, right? Are your practice thoughts pulling yourself apart? Are your practice thoughts at creating so clearly what you want, or are they holding on to what you don't want? One of the biggest aha moments that I've had in my life that I wish I could just shake most people would be that success is a lot closer than you may think. And if you knew how close it was, you would loosen the grip on your old thoughts. I'm going to say that again because I see a lot of people writing things down. And this one's like a huge aha. It's a big ding ding. Okay. I want to get good at creating, Laura. Okay. And some of you have really followed my stuff. I mean, one of the emails, let me just share it for a second. Actually, I put it in the email that I sent out to you guys. Oh, there's me. When I sent out this workshop, there's a workshop tonight, avoid the top 10, top 5 manifesting mistakes. I'm going to dish as many as I can. Okay. Danielle here wrote, eek, this was the goal I had hoped to hit by the end of the year. I freaking hit it in 3 months. I can't believe it. Thank you for all the tools you've shared. My main focus is losing weight and improving my health, but it turns out I'm using those lessons and my new mindset in all areas of my life. I'm so happy. Okay, so that's like coming from epic goals and manifesting. And I just wanted to share that because I want you to recognize and put in big, bold letters, success is a lot closer than I may think, because success is not just a thinking, it's a feeling. And I'm going to help you during this manifesting workshop tap into the feeling of success. Practice the feeling of success. That's why I say, let go of those oops moments. Are you practicing on the Simple 6 meal plan every night? Those of you who are members inside our, content, are you practicing? It might just be the meal plan, but at the bottom of the meal plan, it says, what's my oops moment that I'm ready to let go of? How am I lightening up on myself? So many of you have, again, just like Danielle's quote being like, I hit that other milestone in my life that was not a health and fitness goal. It was something huge for herself, like huge. And she was like, it was a year goal and I hit it in 3 months. And success, and in her, it was a longer email. And said, success was a lot closer than I thought. And I was like, I know. Now many of you are watching this and you've become so good at creating, but you've become also good at holding on to the past. Am I so good at holding on to the past that if I knew that I could just lighten the grip on all of that stuff that I wish I could fix, the stuff that I just wish I could fix when I look in the mirror at my body, the stuff that I wish I could fix from my past, if I could just loosen my grip on it, would success be right in front of me? Would that thing open up? Would that doorway open? Would the path be more clear? And I'm telling you emphatically, the answer is yes. Okay, emphatically yes. So I want you to kind of write these things down if you're a writer, or soak them into your brain if you're just listening. I am already manifesting every single day. Like I said, your current path, your current reality is already a compilation of momentum of all the past experiences, thoughts I've ever had to this moment. And now, what am I practicing? That's what I said, like during the everyday moments of my life, where am I putting my attention? Am I consciously aware of my thoughts? Because I know as a mom of 3 and running businesses and busy all the time, blah, blah, that if I used to put my feet up on the couch, my practice thought was, I should be folding the laundry. I should be emptying the dishwasher. I should be helping Lucas with this. I should probably be asking Scott about that. I should probably be like working on my checkbook or whatever, balancing something or doing something else, not giving myself this time to just do nothing. That felt guilty. And that was my practice thought, right? So when I help you challenge what your practice thoughts are and push your thought to a new limit of self-love and self-care and all the things that are like coming from a beautiful place that's already inside you, and you start to feel it, and that's a practice success. That's why I say success is a lot closer than you may think. You then start to recognize, as I let go of this ick and I start to focus my thoughts, energy, and attention, it becomes what you notice. And I'm not saying you're not going to have tough days, okay? Like if you're having a tough day and you're noticing everything going wrong, now that boss is being mean and this coworker just spilled her coffee and the dog's like barking uncontrollably and da-da-da-da-da, you are spinning in something where you're noticing the details, Because again, that's a ding, ding, ding moment that you're tightening the grip on all the things that you don't want. So if your area of current focus starts showing you all the crappy things, you know that should be your ding, ding, little Laura St. John 5-inch version of me moment on your shoulder, tapping your ear, being like, loosen the grip. You're in it. You're in it. Now what? Now what? That's going to create the pivot. So the biggest obstacle is that reality in our day-to-day is really has, even the last weeks, months, years, we've created these practices that have not allowed us to see past what we're currently looking at and feeling. So when I say what stuck is, and I said it in the body image workshop, and it was like a big ding, ding, ding for a lot of you, and it was a big ding, ding for me. This is our definition of stuck at Strong Confident Living, is the inability to see past what I'm currently feeling. And for the manifesting workshop, so with body image, it was I'm unable to see past the current physical expression of myself, the current physical body I'm in. I need to see past it in order to create the body that I want. And that is a whole other separate workshop, right? Where I walk you through those steps of how do you love the person inside, every single version of the way. So as you shrink wrap, you love the person at the end, right? So to manifest the body you want, this is a lot of the similar practices, but now this manifesting workshop's going to take it to a deeper level. Okay. So if stuck equals the inability to see what I'm past, what I'm currently feeling, and inability to manifest and feeling stuck in my current reality is the inability to also see past what I'm feeling and then seeing, right? Then looking around and seeing and being like, but Laura, you don't understand. And then you want to tell me all the reasons and justify why you're stuck. And I'm going to tell you, ding, ding, ding moment, stop complaining. Just like I'm saying, watch your practiced like thoughts while you're sitting on the couch doing the dishes, like start becoming consciously aware of your practiced thoughts, become aware of your spoken word, right? I've been sick the last couple of weeks, and I finally, like when people are checking in on me today, like messaging, being like, I'm going to crush this thing. I'm like, I'm going to, I'm improving every day. Like, rather than being like, yeah, I still feel tired. I got a headache. I'm like, I'm flipping it around. I'm done. I've gotten to the point, it's like so frustrating. So there's two things. Sometimes manifesting is really quiet and you might be like sitting there jotting notes, like imagining things, and I'll help you with all that. But sometimes life brings you experience. And experience, this is what I learned from a Jimmy John sign a long time ago, guys. If you go into any Jimmy John's, you'll see a sign that says experience is what life gives you when you don't get what you want. At some point, you get enough quote unquote experience to recognize that you have this negative feeling that you're like, done, D-O-N-E, done, gusto of energy, negative wave of emotion, being like, I'm so done with this. I'm ready to kick this thing. I'm like done, right? I'm ready. I'm done. So you will continue to receive experience until you reach that point, because that point you make a 100% decision to change. And with a 100% decision to change, that's where the commitment comes into yourself. And that is where you start to create some serious change. But in this first point, and I know I'm going into a lot of depth here because this is really so much of manifesting, because it's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple to know like stuck's the inability to just not be able to see past what I currently feel. So unstuck is the ability to see past. Okay, so unstuck's just the opposite. And that's my job for you as your mindset coach. Unstuck equals the ability to see past what I'm currently seeing and feeling. That's unstuck. And that truly is unstuck, because you have to go past what you're currently seeing and feeling in order to create the next new thing. But every hardship creates that. Every negative helps you get clear. Okay, so the life, I'm going to like be hitting upon all these things in the mistakes, but the life that you actually want to create is still going to have ups and downs. It's not going to be struggle free. It's just going to be, you're just going to decide now, I want less struggle and more abundance of all the things that I want. It doesn't mean that struggle is still not going to come your way at all. But when it does, you're not going to face it with this like disappointing, ugh, there I go again, or there's like my terrible life again. Because so many people I found are just stuck in this like factor of an expectation of disappointment versus being like, oh, adversity is coming my way. Like, how is this going to still work out for me? How is this going to help me get clear? I mustn't have had enough experience, again, what life gave you and you didn't get what you wanted, to recognize that I didn't make a full 100% decision to go towards this direction. I must have been 99% because that little 1% let this little thing in, and now I'm still having to work at this. I mustn't have been 100%. Okay. So the whole point to get unstuck is working on the ability to see past what you're currently seeing and feeling, which is what we're going to do in this workshop. Okay. I want to get unstuck. I want to see past it because I believe success is a lot closer than I might think. And if I can lighten the grip on the old stuff, if I could really point my focus forward on the new thoughts, the new emotional power that I'm going to harness, right? All this energy that I'm going to turn into action, massive action, I can create new things. So whether you like what you're surrounded with or not, it's important because many people fall back on it because just it's what's comfortable. It's what you know. It's what you've practiced. So the work with me in this workshop tonight and then moving forward is not always in the action for a lot of my action people. Okay. It's not always in the physical. It's so much in the mindset. It's so much in the practice thoughts. For some of us, it's harder to carve out the space for ourselves to just sit and think. It's easier to sit and do. Or do, just do. If I could just say, and that's why for my doers in the house that are like very hands-on learners, I want you to look at thinking as an action. I want you to look at like conscious thinking where you're like, I got to carve out 10 minutes to work on my happy list or think about like this next thing that, the stuff that I'll be teaching you to work on these things. I want you to think of it as if it's like a workout, like an action thing that you have to do, because otherwise you don't carve the time for yourself to just think. And if you can't carve the time for yourself to think and see past and feel past what you're currently seeing and feeling, it will not push you much further than your current reality. And that's where a lot of people sit and then get stuck and frustrated because this year might look a lot like last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. So if you're ready to change all that, let me know in the comments. Ready, because it's the ready energy, okay, is so key. Huge aha moment. Love it. Thank you. Yes. And I want you to commit to doing both with me. Commit to the silent times where it's like, I call it Laura Land for me personally, where I sit on my bed and I play my little like classical music and I envision things, right? But there's quiet times, but then there's gusto times. There's literally going to be manifesting times where you are like looking in the mirror and you're like, yes, I am done with that body. I am ready to make healthy change. And then that I'm going to help you go into action from a positive place, not the negative. But we are going to use the negative as our fuel. Okay. So that's a huge one. And I kind of embedded a few others in there. All right. Now let's talk about a couple of things. If I were to tell you guys, okay, there's a huge manifesting mistake, which is lacking in the clarity of the details of truly what you want. So if I was like, all right, you want to manifest that house? Okay. Like, tell me all about it. Tell me about the entrance into the driveway. Tell me about what you would like for your mailbox. Like, what color is the mailbox? What style? Like, I don't know. I see pavers, now I have pavers on my driveway. What is the fencing like? Is there fencing? Like, you got to start. This is where my imagination people, Lori, in the house. This is where I'm going to work with you because so many people are too vague. And if literally a genie were to pop up and be like, all right, you have 30 seconds. Do you guys know Mine's so practiced. I could tell you exactly, I could draw my barn house. I could tell you about the farmer's sink. I can, walk you through the countertops and the tiles. And it's not like it's practice. Okay. So your imagination, and some of you are more visual learners than others, but that is not an excuse. I'm going to work with you on your imagination. We're going to help you. But just know that if you don't have the specifics down of what you want to manifest, if you don't have the details and it's just like, I want a new house, like a 4-bedroom, you're going to get dealt that in any different way. Okay. And it's very interesting because very clearly you could probably tell me all the things that are wrong. Like, let's say for those of you manifesting body image, right? You're really working on the body image workshop that we released and that mini course and all that. But so clearly when you get started on body image, you could tell me all the things wrong down to like a freckle that you probably don't like. But if I said specifically, if you could wave the magic, like what exactly does it look like? Okay, what exactly does it feel like to step through your house in that body? What does it feel like when you open a door and walk in a room that's full of people in that body? Like, what does it feel like to you? And how do we get that strength and confidence now? Okay. So there's so many things that again, and that's almost a challenge. If you were to be like in every area of your life, and I break things down into like my family, my friendship, like myself, all the different areas of your life. If you don't have a crystal clear vision for them, which is also our Epic Goals course, right? If you don't have crystal clear goals and visions for them, then you're gonna always be getting a lot of your current reality over and over and over and over and over again. So it's a big manifesting that mistake that most people are lacking the clarity. So I just want to get in, like, what's a goal? I want to get in shape, Laura. I want to look and feel younger. Okay, that's my goal too. But I know exactly what that looks like and feels like at 70, at 80, all the way. I have these little 2-minute movies. I see Scott and me, like we're doing burpees and we're like in our 80s, we're 90s, like he's joking, he's got the timer, he's all old and stuff, right? Like you could see it, you're laughing, like I could see it, it's funny. But we also see ourselves on rocking chairs, clinking our glasses, looking at a sunset. And that's a big thing. Okay. So clarity in the juicy details in just these like little 2-minute movies. They don't have to be long. So most of you are misusing your imagination and you're pointing it towards worry. And for those of you who have said like, but I just can't see it, Laura, I've been researching imagination for a while because I have such a vivid imagination and I see things, everything visually. So I'm also a visual learner, but it's so fascinating to me because I close my eyes and I've been working with my own kids and, they're like, but I just see black. I just see blank, like it's dark. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, because your eyes are still open. You're just seeing the back of your eyelids. And my kids are like, what, Mom? That's like, OMG. I'm like, yes, your eyes are like always open. You're just like, you're closing your eyelids and you're seeing the back of them. That imagination does not come from your eyes. That is why one of my favorite quotes that I say all the time is insight is more powerful than eyesight. And just like, Einstein said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Your insight, your imagination comes from within, a light within. It comes from your mind, being able to access feelings. And then it also comes from, it's really interesting and fascinating. It also comes from images that you've seen before. So, it's very interesting because even from a brain capacity, what you see comes in one side through your eyes and then gets put into your brain and stored in your brain. But what you imagine, scientists have actually revealed, it comes from a different part of your brain. It comes from the opposite side. And when I heard that it's coming from within and it lights up something in your brain, I'm like, it really is a power within you that I want to help you tap. So I'm going to give you some tips because a big manifesting mistake is misuse of imagination. So besides a manifesting mistake is lacking the clarity and the juicy details of what you want to manifest, right? So let me just give you some examples of that before I switch into this, because I have so many I want to share with you. So instead of I just want to get in shape, okay, broad is good, but you need to get more specific. I see myself walking into my closet. I can zip up, like if you're zipping up your pants and you don't like the fat fold that's folding over the pants, Well, imagine the feeling of zipping up your pants and feeling like that's not there. Like the feeling of it. If you can't visually see it, and this is where I want you from an imagination side to just put the jeans in your hand and physically put them on your bed. Like start to touch the things that you want to help yourself, imagine. So if you want a beautiful kitchen and you are imagine yourself like I do with this like farmer sink, then put the sponge in your hand and just start cleaning your current sink. Because whether you have an up day or a down day, even when that day that you have that farmer sink, you're still going to have positives and negatives, and you're still going to be using a sponge. So put some of the things, and this is a huge piece that have brought other things into my reality faster. Put some of the things in your physical reality right now. Okay. If you imagine yourself in like a beautiful space and you're sipping your cup of coffee in the morning, well, then go put your coffee cup in your hand. Help your imagination stretch. Okay. Because in this next version of yourself, you still are going to be doing your mundane things. So use your mundane things to shift yourself into the next version. It will help you do what I'm trying to tell you to do, which is the ability to see and feel past what you're currently experiencing. So I'm going to help you blend your current reality with your next reality, the next step of you. When that starts to blend, because it is a practice, and you may not believe it at first when you put that sponge in your hand. You may not believe it at first, okay? Like all I wanted, and I have it now, was like one of those horse fences, the country fences that have like 3 like lines, like I don't know, it's like it's got 3 pieces of wood, not just 2. I wanted 3. And I kept looking at pictures of them because sometimes in the beginning I didn't see them all visually. So I'd pull it up on Pinterest, I'd draw them. And we found this house. And the first time we looked at this house, I didn't even see the fence because there's bushes in front of it. And then when we moved in, I was like, it has my fence. Like, it's crazy. But it's like it got manifested because it was that specific. Even like I would draw these windows and imagine that I love, and anytime I saw a French door anywhere, okay, this house is full of them. Anytime I saw a French door, I would like imagine myself walking through them and be like, I love this door. So what I'm saying for those of you who are wanting to practice imagination is start bringing it into your current physical reality. Put the stuff in your hand, even if it's not in your own house and you want something in your own house, like relish in things physically when you see them. Allow them to be your point of it, like focus. And then, just everybody close their eyes for a second, because I want to like put you through a little imagination exercise. Now, if you just close your eyes and you're looking at the back of your eyelids, okay? And that's an interesting thought, right? You're looking at the back of your eyelids. But if I said, picture an apple, you're going to picture an apple. And now that's pulling up an image from an apple you've seen before, because that's how imagination works. Now, if I said, imagine that apple's talking, okay? Now your imagination knows to pull up like a cartoon that you've ever seen in your life and pull up the apple and somehow slap the 2 images together. Your brain is that smart. It's able to do these things. Now, it's not coming from your eyes, but because you've stored away an apple and a cartoon, you're sort of maybe seeing a talking apple. Now, if I said there's one red apple and it's red now and it doesn't have a smiley face on it, it's just on your kitchen counter, you might be sort of able to see that. And now I say, well, now there's 3 apples and 2 of them are green and 1 is red. You might be able to see that. And now if I said turn in your kitchen and look at your refrigerator, you might be able to see that. Okay, so now open your eyes. It's a lot harder to have your eyes open, okay, and now if you can't see that, okay, if you're like, Laura didn't see the apple. Laura's like, didn't see the apple. Then your practice is to look at more pictures, especially of things that you want. It doesn't have to be the apple. Okay, look at more pictures and then put those things in your current reality, the things that would represent those things. So if you could see the apple and the green apple, again, it's not coming from here, it's coming from a deeper place, and that's awesome. You might be a very good visual thinker. If you're not a visual thinker, I'm going to give you other steps, but I'm also going to teach you your imagination because it is in there. Okay, you're just like, it needs some scrubbing, it needs some like dusting off or whatever. because this whole can't see it thing. Okay. So another thing like that is that sometimes people look at other images and they're like, well, she has that. I don't have that. Like she's going to have that. I don't have that. But then you could be like, oh, I feel like the woman in, let's say you went shopping and you're like, I feel like the woman in Pretty Woman when I'm shopping on this shopping spree or whatever. You know what I mean? And like you're coming out with like a bag. Well, then put a shopping bag in your hand. Okay, so some of you, again, I like see the visual of it. Some of you do not, and that's okay because everyone is different kinds of learners. There's auditory learners, there's visual learners, there's tactile learners. And those are the three most common learning styles. And I used to work in education. So just knowing that, are you a hands-on learner? Are you a listening learner? Are you a visual learner? And you're probably a combination, but most people are hands-on. That's like the best way to retain stuff. Some people need to read things. Well, that's why we do like the congratulations cards and the writing. Like do the writing. Like when you go through our content and you go through our classes, make sure that you are writing out like, this is what I would love to see. Okay, so that would be a big one, for those of you, Dawn, Lori, or like, I don't see it, I can't see it, I'm having trouble. Don't use that as your excuse to stay stuck. Just say, I'm definitely a hands-on learner. I'm definitely a, this learner or that learner. I want to, you want to use your strengths, but I want you to then, definitely like make that Pinterest board, draw things out, write things out of what your ideal day is, what your ideal, goals are for that area of your life, and be clear. So if like, it's just, I want to look younger and feel younger with ages, I see myself looking in the mirror and giving myself a gentle head nod. Okay. But you can write that out if you can't see it. You can find things that would represent it. Okay. Some people say, I want $1 million. Okay. Well, what can you see? Okay. Well, then open your Chase or Wells Fargo or whatever account and see yourself, practice hitting transfer money and putting things into different accounts. And then imagine that there's more commas and zeros. Imagine yourself like the relief. And if you have some relief on any day that you're like paying a bill, like relish in that relief. Because what you're looking to access is not just the visual and it's not just the thought, it's the feeling behind it. Okay. So to manifest, you have to go to the feeling, but the thoughts trigger up feelings. The visuals trigger up feelings. And it's usually why we get stuck in our conscious current reality is because most people are currently always looking out into what they see. It's not what they want. Sorry guys, I gotta close this for sun coming in. And it's not what they currently want. And then you're trying to scramble from there and go into action from there, dancing around what you actually want, which is the ability to see past it and create past it. Okay. So be careful with that. See yourself moving money. I want my dream relationship. All right. Well, what does that look like? Like I shared with you, for Scott and I, it looks like old people on rocking chairs, clinking glasses. Another vision that we have is like, just having good conversation. Even when we're older, we're always wanting to not lose that spark of conversation. So you just have to like, okay, that's seeing, I love going to 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 months from now, because it forces you. That's why when I make congratulations cards with you guys and I help you say from your future self, okay, and you guys could just write this. If this is you right now, I'll help you because so many people might be on that are brand new to me. A congratulations card that I help you with is Dear Me, okay? And you put like a future date in the corner. It could be September, it could be December, it could be 2025, you decide. But it's a future you. Dear Me, congratulations, you did it. You moved away from blank, blank, blank. Okay? You're going to always fill in these blanks. You stepped into your power. You stepped into blank, blank, blank. Okay, now I'm teaching you beyond your imagination to stretch it into a card from your future self to your current self in this tense that's saying, congratulations, you did it, as if it's from a stranger. But that stranger is you. And this is stretching your ability to, again, see past what you're currently seeing and feeling. Because the future you doesn't have the resistance that the current you has when you look out. The future you does not hold it. It's already past it. It laughs at what triggers you right now. Okay? So I moved past blah, blah, blah. I stepped into my, no, it's you. Use the version of you, not I. Okay. So you did it. You moved into this. You stepped into your power. You're now doing this. Congratulations again. You rock. Love me. Okay. So it's to me, from me. And then it's all about you, 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 you. You did this, you did that, you did this, because I want you to talk to yourself in third person. Because the third person version of you is your future version of you looking at your current version of you being like, if you just knew how close success was and how some of this grip, when you release the grip, okay, and those are the things you could fill it in. You know, congratulations, you did it. You lost the grip on all the old, like you stopped holding on to it so tightly. You stopped practicing that you couldn't do it, that you didn't hold the belief in yourself, that you like had this manifestation skill that so like as if someone had it and you didn't. You stepped into your power. You were able to, you know, use a mixture of all the tools. I'm going to give you more of all the tools to manifest, to create the life that you want, filled with all the things that you want. Congratulations, you love me. Okay. So that's just an easy template. You guys, I'm going to have a whole manifestation course and template of all these things. So don't worry, that's dropping. But you all have to know that imagination and stretching yourself can be in the written form, can be in the visual, and then eventually you'll close your eyes and you'll practice it better and better and better. Okay. Again, I want you to write this down. I don't have to believe it just yet. I just have to practice it. I just have to carve myself the space to do the practice work. Okay. Because it's harder to think than to do. Okay. And you're most likely focusing again on all the details in your everyday. And that's what I challenge you throughout your day, to start challenging yourself when you're doing all your mundane things, to start being more consciously aware of where your imagination's going. Because I'll never forget, like I got a message one day where someone who also said, I have no imagination, Laura. And then she was like, oh my God, I let the dogs out today and my imagination was imagining something going wrong. And I was like, well, if you ever imagine something going wrong, AKA worry, if you ever worry, your imagination is working. It is just working in the wrong direction. You are picturing something going wrong. Okay. So if you're picturing, and again, if maybe you don't see it clearly, you just have a maybe like intuitive fear and a feeling around it, well, then that's your imagination too. It's just creating a story that hasn't happened yet. And you're focusing your negative energy and your imagination towards things that haven't happened. Okay. So those are just some juicy thoughts. I'm going to crank through these. So let's keep going. All right. A big one that I love to help people with is that you see with your eyes, but you feel with everything. Like you are here as an instrument, like your whole body is an instrument of feeling. Like, you know, if you walk into a coffee shop right now, you can sense what kind of mood people are in. When you are practicing happy and you are snacking on happy with me throughout the day, you're more of in an energy of manifesting, because attraction of things that you actually want comes to you when you're in a happy state. Imagine when you're in an unhappy state and things are swirling around you, that things keep just going wrong. Okay. So if things keep going wrong, okay, like one after another, and you're like, if your spoken words become, what else can go wrong? Are you kidding me? Like, I can't take another thing. What are you going to be a perfect magnet for? You're basically saying, what else can go wrong? Like, send it to me right now. Let me see if I can handle it. Because I promise you, you're going to wake up tomorrow, and if you're alive and you're still breathing, you handled it. And it stunk. So you have to not just watch your words, meaning thoughts. You have to watch the spoken word, because it is powerful. If your thoughts now, scientists are able to measure outside of your brain. They actually have instruments that measure the energy of waves of thought outside your brain. If your thoughts are that powerful, just like if you were in this room right now and I was staring you down, you know, if someone's behind you and they're like staring at you, you feel it and you're kind of like, sometimes you like stop a car at a red light and someone's like staring at you and you feel it. Like those thoughts and that like penetration, that's just from your brain. Can you imagine how electromagnetic your actual spoken words are in terms of what you want to attract into your life? So when I like noticed that I was around sometimes people that were like perpetually complaining about their kids, their husbands, or this. And I remember being like, doesn't anyone like here love their husband and kids? Like, are we just in a complaint fest? Like, I'm like, get me out of here. That's my line. That's my line of the boundary. And we've talked a lot about this in other workshops and different things where it's not drawing a line being like, you got to change everything that you're doing, thinking, saying, because it's bothering me. So now go change, because that's you trying to control other people. You got to decide in your little bubble of manifesting, what are your lines in your life? What is your bar that you want to hold for yourself and not move? So, but again, that was a negative moment where I was like, you know what? That's when I had another manifesting mistake that I've now since cleaned. So let me share this one with you. There's a manifesting mistake is when I get rid of all the things that are making me feel negative, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be able to manifest the life I want. So let me just go hide in my car from all these moms that were like bickering about their kids or they're this or they're that, or let me go away from this person or that person. And yes, you can remove yourself, but there's a major manifesting mistake is that when all these things are perfect, then I'll create the life I want. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It doesn't work that way because again, you're going to be setting yourself up for perpetual disappointment. Creation sometimes, like I said earlier, comes from adversity. From these downs, we get this gusto, like I said, of being done, D-O-N-E. I'm like, I want to surround myself with people who have each other's back, their families back. They love on their families and kids, like family fun and freedom. Like it led me to my core. Okay. It led me to clarity. So there's nothing wrong sometimes with adversity. There's nothing wrong with looking out and being like, I don't want that. There's nothing wrong with even, like I said in the body image workshop, looking in the mirror and being like, but I don't want this body. Okay. I'm going to love the person inside though. And just like even this, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. And you can add the words right now. Like I'm looking outside and I just don't like what I see right now. That's just adding those little 2 words right now will help you start to see past the right now, which is where everyone's just stuck in the right now. So I want you to get okay with, that's why I want you to put the coffee cup in your hand and imagine yourself in the next place. I want you to do the mundane things and know that in that next version of yourself, you are still going to have down days. Like when you have that money in your bank account, when you have that great relationship, and when you have that body, and when you have that house or whatever else that you want, you're still going to have up and down moments. So don't think that you need to get rid of them all. What you actually need to do is say, I want an abundant amount of amazing times. I want an abundant amount of positivity and practicing happy and snacking on happy and, really positive people and feelings and all that throughout the day. And I am going to leave a little bit of room for those downs. I'm going to leave a little bit of room for those clarity moments. I'm going to leave a little bit of room for the negative to seep in, because without the negative, we would not know the positive. We would not be here as human beings. Okay. We are literally here to experience some negative to propel us into positive. And that is why when I coach people and work with people who have gone through such huge negative experiences in their past, I only see when it flips like into so much strength. I'm like, wow, that valley was so deep and so dark and so hard. Like your peak, like the equal and opposite of that is unbelievably strong and confident and beautiful and success. And oh my God, it's so close to you. Like that is why you have a depth about you that you can feel so much because you've been to those places. Okay. And with that comes with so much wisdom, but you can decide right now, even if you've had a really hard past struggle, or a lot of people sometimes that I coach and work with are like, I didn't have a great growing up. I didn't have a great this. Okay. And I'm saying, okay, but you're here right now. And I get that. Decide now though, that you still want to loosen the grip. So you can say, I want like, I like for me, I'm like, I want like 95% good. I want 5% like that, like, to still come my way, because I know with that 5%, like I'm going to create what's next. I know that's going to push me to grow and expand. So it's a major manifesting mistake that people are on this quest for perfection and are then looking at Instagram and vision boards and all these things and feeling less than. Okay. When the whole point is not perfection. Okay. Everything is perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect. I believe everything that happened was perfect, even if it wasn't what I wanted. It's perfect right now, even though there's still some things in my life right now that I don't want, and it will be perfect. And there's still going to be certain things that I don't want. Okay. That's imperfectly perfect to push us to the next level of creation for ourselves. Because creation is literally like love in motion. But creation can be also like the negative in motion. That's why I'm saying, are you creating from disgust? Or are you creating from desire? Are you creating from the negative feels where you're going into action? Or are you creating from, this is a point of clarity. This is that little Laura ding, ding, dinging me. Like I'm in the down, and you can stew in the down for a week, sometimes days or weeks, but you have to make a conscious choice of when you're going to be so done with it. That's why I said you have to get to that 100% line. Okay. So don't only now, I know we talked a lot about imagination and seeing with our eyes. I want you to also use to not just a vision board. I love Pinterest. I like creating digital vision boards. I love having a visual one. That artist thing right there opens up into a vision board. That painting right there actually opens, and it's an amazing vision board. But a lot of people just get stuck on looking only at images in their brain or on paper or digitally. I want you, especially those of you who are saying, I want to work on my imagination. And I'm going to I can't wait for this manifesting 21-day challenge that I'm going to give you guys, because we're going to work on it in a multidimensional way. You are a multidimensional creature. You are not 1D. Like I say, you're not this piece of paper. You're not just your vision. If you were blind, you would still be able to imagine. You would just, you would see different things. And they actually think even before we're able to communicate with words, we often they think like babies see and imagine in pictures. So I want you to use other senses. You are here because you can feel and touch. That's why I said, put the coffee cup in the hand, put the sponge in the hand, go put the jeans on go put the jeans down on your bed and pretend like you just put them on. You're so happy with yourself and they fit so perfectly. And you're like, all right, putting you here now, versus putting them down in disgust. Because it's these actions and feelings again. So because you're multidimensional and you're not just 1D, you need to not just use your vision. You have other senses for a reason. Are you employing them? Most people only manifest through vision. And I'm telling you, and this will really help you in every step of the case, is I want you to use your ears. Okay? Think about something that you want, and what is it? And think about, what would you hear in the background right now? I did this with my friend and she was like, I hear water. We're on a boat. They're celebrating my party. There's a DJ in the background. I hear the music. I hear the laughter and what do you see? Okay. What do you hear? And then, and then she's like, I'm putting my feet up on the chair and it's one of those cool recliners. I'm like, all right, do you have a recliner like that? Go sit in it every friggin' day. Right? And imagine yourself at this party. And then I'm like, what are you drinking? What is your taste? And she's like, we're cracking up some margaritas. There's salt, there's this, there's that. And she's like, all right. I'm like, awesome. Next time you have a margarita, imagine this whole scene every time you have a margarita. Because you guys, every time I have a cup of coffee, I imagine myself living at the beach. Every single time. I put the app on, I listen to the ocean waves. I mean, Scott went so far as trucking sand into our Colorado property so I could put my feet in sand. I had the little boys at that time, playing in the sand with little shovels. And I imagined this beach life while I was surrounded by huge mountains, 14,000 feet, and pine trees and snow. So you can create anything, but if you can't see it, employ your other senses and start using them. Besides the written out card of the congratulations card, you did it. You're living at the beach. You're loving this life. You live life on vacay, da, da, da. Okay. And besides reading it and manifesting a vision of it through a card, you can start to use your, like, what would it sound like? What would I be hearing? What would I be tasting? What would I be looking at? And this is the work. This is the daily work, because I'm going to tell you that so many people tomorrow, because it's not your practice yet. That's why I want to do a 21-day challenge starting in June. Or, I'll have it rotating around depending on when you're entering in. You guys, it's so, so important. Like, can you carve out 10 minutes to do this work? 10 minutes, 10 minutes to be able to do some of these exercises. What would I see? What would I taste? And just start by writing it down. Okay. Think of one area of your life that you want to change. Think of what you don't want. Think of then what you do want, and what would be the perfect scenario of if you could see past your current reality. And I waved that magic wand and I became the magic genie and was like, okay, let's do it. Let's create it. It's my favorite thing. Right. It went from, like, Kristen, I think, is on this call, being like, I wanted a Jeep. And then she was like, then I really wanted a white Jeep. And now guess what she's driving? A white Jeep. Okay. So it has to be that crystal clear. And that's where I've really uncovered, again, all these years of manifesting mistakes, being like, okay, tell me. And what I found is, like, all right, like, people could so clearly be like, and then she said this, and then this happened. And then I walked outside and my neighbor did that and this, and, like, with such, again, the details of all the things that are wrong are, like, down to a science in your brain. But the details of how things should run right are not as dialed in. And then people are wondering why they're stuck. So the clarity in that is actually the weight. Okay. So another manifesting mistake is allowing the self-doubt to create the roadblocks, which is like what I was just saying. When I get rid of all this, then I'm feeling negative, then I'll be fine. The roadblocks are possibly there as your biggest gifts. If there's roadblocks and you think that it's coming, and maybe then it shows up for you in different ways: toxic people, judgment, comparison, naysayers, anxiety, overwhelm, and you start hearing the old you, and roadblocks start slipping in, and then it you get excited as you start to do this stuff with me, and then boom, you fall down, and you're like, now what? I want you guys to recognize in that moment, those roadblocks were there to propel you. That roadblock was there to say, are you going to quit on yourself? And this is you testing that 100% decision. That roadblock is there because you are probably at 99.8%, or literally that roadblock would not even be there. But if you're at 98% or 99.8%, there's going to be a roadblock until you get to the 100%. And you're allowing this old stuff come back, which is fine. Again, nothing's wrong with that. And the more you start to see nothing's wrong with that, you're going to start to release them, because the big thing should be loosening the grip. So many people are like this, like gripping on so tight to the old stuff of what you know. And it's just like, you just got to release the naysayers, release the comparison, release the toxic people that are pointing fingers and feeling like they're judging you. The closer the people are to you, the more they're going to judge. The more you're going to feel it as like a pang, like a dagger in your back, because you care about those people and you don't want them judging you. But all of these things create roadblocks to manifestation if you allow them to be the roadblock. Or you could say, thanks for the clarity moment. This is driving me. This is driving me towards my dreams and goals even faster. Thank you. And it becomes like a trampoline, with the gymnasts, they jump on the vault, like they get a big promotion. Like it becomes like the thing that you bounce off of. But you have to see yourself going over it. Okay. So that's your take the keys back moment. You guys know also a huge manifesting mistake is taking action from the negative. I teach this all the time, but for the newbies in the house, there's so many people that take action while they're feeling the ick. Hold on, I got a cough, 1 second. Okay, so how many times have you ever been like, I hate this feeling, I need to move away from it? I literally, I felt that this morning, okay, about something. I was literally in like spinning in something this morning and I was like, the details of this, like I could give them to you all, but if I started complaining about it, that's going to bring it right back into my conscious reality. So should I be complaining about it to no one? No. That is my ding, ding, ding moment of Laura St. John. You have a manifesting workshop. Of course, this is popping up. You got to teach this stuff tonight. Go do the work. Go sit on your bed. Go work on yourself. Go do this. Go spend the time. Go spend the 10 minutes. Yes, go drink some water. Yes, water is very healing, especially if you like think positively while you drink water. It's huge. Okay. But don't take action from that place. Don't move like when you're feeling like everything's bothering me here right now, because you take you with you wherever you go. So when you are like, I got to end this relationship, I got to do this, I got to like whatever you're looking to like create a major change in your life, if you are feeling so negative, don't do it yet until you flip it. Don't do it yet until you say, OMG, oh my God, I'm at it. I'm at the 100% decision mark. I'm at the line of courage. I'm at the line of change. I can no longer take this, but I'm not going to go into action right now because I know I've been to this Laura St. John workshop. I know now, or maybe you've learned this in your own path, that when you take action while you're feeling the pain, when you're like, I hate my body, I'm going to diet now. You are in the energy of the problem. Okay. So just think of it. If you saw the problem as a pothole versus the beautiful thing you want up here on the mountaintop or at the beach or whatever. Okay. Just like imagine that there's this big pothole and that's your journey and you're about to fall in the pothole. Okay. And that pothole is filled with all of your biggest issues and problems that you no longer want to manifest. But if you are like, so done with you, done, 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 done. Okay. That's great. Again, that's positive to feel the negative energy. That is why you don't want to create a life of just perfection. You want to use the negative energy to not take action. You want to use the negative energy to say, I am getting crystal clear on my goals. Thank you, negative energy. Thank you, problem. I'm not going to look for a do-over. A do-over is going to happen if you take action from that place because you're then stewing in it. You're poking at it and you're going into massive action usually from it. Okay. So that's huge. And that's a big proponent. And a lot of you on this are like shaking your head because you know I've been teaching this. If you've been following me for years, it's the number one manifesting mistake that most people do is take action while they're feeling the pain. Because a lot of even coaches out there will tell you that you're more likely, double or triple as likely to move away from pain than to move towards your vision. Because negative energy, that negative day, it's negative energy is powerful. Just that feeling of anger is again like a big gusto of energy. So then how can you use it? How can you say it's not going to control me? It's not going to dictate where I'm going. I'm going to use this power. I'm going to flip it into clarity, get so clear that I no longer want that I do want this. Then when I start to see that based on the tips that I just gave you, the written tips, the visual, that I've been listening to it. Now I'm getting clear on it. Now what actions am I taking toward it? And that is where you start to take massive, small, mighty, like 1 degree of change action steps. And then you build your action plan. That's when you go into massive up spiral instead of massive down spiral. Okay. A daily plan of practice. And that's going to be like one of my biggest challenges to you guys is, I mean, I think many of you that have been coaching for a while now have like, because I get the feedback forms and stuff, and I love seeing that I no longer take action when I'm feeling the negative. And let me know that in the chat, and I'm going to start wrapping up. You guys, it's so huge. Small and mighty actions, that's why we give you so many of our lessons and stuff in these bite-sized pieces, not just, I would do big workshop after big workshop after big workshop like this, where I could dish a number of things, but it's why we break it down into the everyday for you, where all these things are embedded in how you're choosing your snack, willpower on the go, inside all of the lessons and stuff that we give you. We build this in so you're not swinging the pendulum so hard. Okay. So that's a huge piece. OMG. When you take care of yourself, everything changes. Let me know if you are all committed to just taking care of yourself and spending 10 minutes of mindset time, manifesting time a day. Okay. Turning what you want into action. So, in recap, like let me know in the chat some of the biggest tips that you want to work on. So the details, I want you to start layering in the details. Okay. I want you to pick only one thing that you want to manifest. One thing. One. Because we'll do the next one. And I want you to imagine that I just have like this ideal cake recipe. Like I know how to make the perfect cake. Okay, I really do. It's been like, it's vanilla. I picture it with all sprinkles. I actually have it. It's like my phone. Okay, I got my kids and my husband as like my phone screensaver. But when I open up my phone, I have the cake. Okay, this is a 3-layered vanilla cake. Okay, that I took that I love. And it's got all the rainbow sprinkles on it. It makes me so happy because I love rainbow. Rainbow makes me happy. Okay, so if this is, I want to like just go here with me that I have a recipe of manifesting, and it works when we follow it. And I want to teach you guys how to put it in the oven, how to like mix it up, like at exactly what degrees like you put it in. Okay, and that when it comes out with what you want, that house, that body, that relationship, that bank account. It comes out like that. But like literally once you learn the recipe, you know how to apply this skill set into everything because you get so self-aware. So I love all the tips coming in terms of like what you are learning, letting go of the grip, manifest a lean body. This is what I want. Okay, super clear. Okay, and I'm just gonna as a closeout, like dish out some of the top tips. And oh, you guys, if you're not already in, I always forget this part, but I want to just share with you the screen, and then I'm gonna do it like I'm gonna do like a top recap of just top. I'm gonna just throw out the tips. Make sure you got them in your notes. Okay, so you know I could talk to you all day, all night. If you're brand new and you're not already in our program, absolutely go to our website. You can do a 10-day free trial, strongconfidentliving.com, and access all of our content inside. Once you're in, just know Strong Confident Living again has fitness and mindset. If you want to create your ideal physical body, we've got beginner workout programs and advanced workout programs and all the mindset that you can ever, that I can ever create. They're broken into mini mindset crash courses, 21-day resets, 6-week transformational challenges, and all of the things to help you create a brand new body. So body image is at the top right now because that's the latest. We're doing a 21-day mindset reset. And then of course, all my favorite mini crash courses that I use all the time, dropping the excuses, epic goals, how to crush an epic goal, all the things, be boss, not bossy, how to turn up your confidence, all that fun stuff. Plus the workouts. So you guys, 1-2 punch. My husband, Scott, and I, he'll be your trainer if you're not already in. I'll be your mindset coach. I'll do the workouts with you in the background. We have a ton of fun, but we have a sole purpose. Our sole purpose together is to collectively help you all get more strong and confident, and then create the most amazing community of people doing the same. So you're all stepping into your own leadership. You're all stepping into your own examples of strength. So many of our current members are in for our monthly program, which is $30 a month. But if you can step into the annual membership for yourself, where you commit to a year of you, a year of change, a year of flipping your life in a new direction. I love these workshops because I get to offer for 24 to 48 hours, it ends tomorrow night, 20% off our annual plan, which is 20% off. So you not only save the $60, because it's usually $299 for the year and it would have been $360, you save an additional $60, so you're getting $120 off. It winds up being $239 for the entire year. So I'm gonna just post this for all the newbies in the house and stop my screen share. I'm gonna post this, but you will get it in a link in an email after this workshop. So first I'm gonna send you the recording of this workshop. Then I'm going to send you the 20% off. And if for those of you who might be watching online, let me just share my screen one more time, because if you go to our content and you hit annual, if you go to Strong Confident Living, this is my last thing, and then I'm going to do a recap. I just want to make sure, there's a bunch of newbies in the house right now. If you go to Strong Confident Living and then you hit classes, you're going to get something that shows monthly, 6-month, or annual. And if you click on annual and you don't have here's the coupon code too, workshop 20. You plug in workshop 20 where it says coupon code, you'll get the 20% off that annual plan, bringing it down to $239. Again, $120 in savings. You guys, $239 for the year, including our group coaching and our private stuff. I mean, it's kind of the cost almost of like 1 or 2 of our private sessions. So you get a year of us, because our goal literally is to reach the masses. We don't want to reach just a few people and charge thousands of dollars. We could, but that's not our goal. Our objective collectively is to create a movement of people that are going to help upspiral the whole planet. That is sometimes getting stuck in measuring and judging each other and just having a lot of struggle. And the planet is ready right now. Honestly, it's shifting. So if you're like, I want to be part of that, I want to be part of the positive momentum. That's what my husband Scott and I, my sister Kat, always want to create. How do we create this positive momentum and give people a really great opportunity, whether it's monthly or annual, to get our programs? All right. As you guys drop in your like top tips, I'm going to just drop mine, because I'm just going to go fast. Okay. Go fast. You're already doing it. You're already manifesting. Tip number 1. Okay, I'm just going to keep running through. Are you practicing seeing past what you're currently feeling? Okay. That's unstuck. Are you, I'm just going to keep like popping questions or tips. Success is a lot closer than I think. Okay. Success is a lot closer than I may think. Doing is sometimes easier than thinking. That's why I'm actually going to make thinking part of my doing plan. Every day, 10 minutes minimum. Find it. Find 10 minutes a day. Okay. Am I misusing my imagination towards worry? Or am I pointing it towards something positive? Can I practice seeing the red apple and the 2 green apples on the counter? And if I can't, then let me keep looking at pictures of 1 red apple and 2 green apples until I can, until I close my eyes and I can. I'm going to practice imagination. Okay. I'm going to grab everyday items and imagine myself in the next version of me. The coffee cup. I'm going to brush my teeth. Think I'm in my like dream house, brushing my teeth. I'm going to, put the jeans on my bed, thinking I just had them like I just took them off my body that I absolutely love. Okay. All of these again are tapping into the feelings of the next version of you. Final tips. I'm going to work on, and this is the 10 minutes a day work. I'm going to work on the juicy details of the big goals I want to manifest. They're no longer just going to be vague. Like I want to get in shape. I want to lose 20 pounds. Not enough. I want you to see the jeans. And if you can't see the jeans in your head, I want you to put them on the hanger in front of you. Okay. I want you to say, my vision is one-dimensional. I'm more than 1D. Okay. I'm going to use my smell. I'm going to use my taste. I'm going to use my touch. I'm going to use sound. I'm going to use thought and my vision. I'm going to use all those things to create a multi-dimensional manifestation. And one of those things is going to hit. Maybe 2 or 3 of those things are going to hit for you. That's going to draw up the emotional feeling of success, and you're feeling the feel, and that's going to be yours. So maybe for Serena, it's going to be that she needs to hear what's going on. She needs to hear the waves. She needs to hear the laughter. She needs to hear, the kid laughing in the background, right? And maybe it's then she finds it and she finds the audio of it. Maybe for Amy Kay, like she's an action girl, right? She's a doer. So maybe for her, it's like, all right, I did this. I made my mindset time literally an actionable item, right? An actionable item every day. And maybe she needs to do it while she's like running on the treadmill or something, because she's a doer. So everyone needs to find their way. And this is why Laura St. John, as a teacher, is always going to say, I have a recipe and I know how to bake this cake extremely well. I definitely know how to manifest and tap into imagination and all these things, but I employ all of these things. I use all of the tools I'm giving you, but I know my strength is visually seeing it. I can literally close my eyes and see everything. I literally can close my eyes and like see myself like fly to any age, spot on planet Earth, wherever. Okay. I can literally go there. But yes. And when you're there, exactly. Serena's going to be in Florida. So it's like, yes, she can capture images of it. But until then, what can you do? Okay. Final things, flip it. Okay. I'm never going to go into action from the negative. I always take action from the positive, or I just stay in neutral. I do nothing. I've learned that doing nothing when I'm feeling negative is actually better than taking action when feeling negative. Okay. I am no longer going to allow self-doubt be my roadblocks. Comparison, judgment, toxic people, close people to me who are judging me, naysayers, anxiety, overwhelm, over control. I'm going to allow them to be my propeller, right? That thing that bounces you over the roadblock. And finally, the small and mighty. I know I didn't talk about too much of this, but the final piece is I don't need to take 90 degrees of action. That's why I'm telling you guys 10 minutes a day is huge. I don't need to go into an about face, get rid of everything in my life. I actually think you shouldn't go so drastic. Okay. I wouldn't suggest that because you're going to swing the pendulum one way and it often sets up for self-sabotage. I want you to not have to need to change an about face by 90 degrees and think you have to change everything. I want you to commit to the 1 degree because the 1 degree is going to be sustainable. So I really want you to think 1 degree is my small and mighty change towards inspired action. When I'm in inspired action versus action from ick, amazing things are going to unfold. And then final mantras are, it's always working out for me. Expect great things. Everything's unfolding as it's meant to. I make swift, clear decisions in line with my vision and goals. It feels so good when I exercise willpower that is in line with where I want to be going. That feels so good to me. And that obviously is then like the path that's lighting up in front of me that I want to manifest. When things are like down spiraling, I'm just going to stop because I'm not going to pour any more momentum into it. I'm no longer going to call my sister and complain about it. I'm not going to call a friend and start chatting over it. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to stop the momentum. I'm going to stop it. Zip, nip it, zip it, put it aside. And then I'm going to decide that 100% decision of I'm ready for this. And then it's like, bam, that's what I said, like badass, beast mode, massive action. There's going to be some of those days. And then that's okay. And there's going to be some quiet days. There's going to be some big days. There's going to still be up days and down days. And for members inside, again, and if you are just joining our membership or you're in our membership or you're one of the recent winners of our membership, congratulations to those of you who also just won the annual program in our annual scholarship that we do. You guys, I'm going to be doing some group mindset coaching privately, and this ending part kind of is the segue because I love just going off the cuff and not, with all of my notes and scripts that we've prepared for this workshop. I love rolling up my sleeves, answering questions, doing live Q&A, and really helping you get unstuck in these things that I talked about tonight. So digest this workshop. Members, be out on the lookout for emails and posts inside our content with up and coming private group coaching. If you're on the fence, just join in on the monthly. That's so simple, $30 a month. If you're not on the fence and you're like, this is exactly what I need, I know I want to spend a whole year of creating what's next for me, then just join in. You're going to get that workshop 20 promo code. Members, if you're bumping up and upgrading your account, we will honor that. So anyone who wants to jump into the annual who's not currently in it, you'll get an email of how the steps to do that so you can participate in the discount and upgrade your account. So you guys, thank you. I can't wait to read all the comments. I can't wait to read the comments on Facebook. I really love delivering this content. Can't wait to work on it privately with some of you as well in terms of our membership. Have a beautiful night. And I just promise you that your success is a lot closer than you do think at times. It's right there. So loosen the grip and go after it and get clear on it. And let's manifest the heck out of the rest of the months of this year. Love you all so, so much. Have a beautiful night. I'm just gonna, bye guys.
Bye, Laura.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
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 Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.